Let's think of ADHD in a different way. So let's face it, if a child's misbehaving in school, they're not listening, they're hard to focus, school's a challenge for them, well, usually the ADHD diagnosis is soon to follow. And with ADHD diagnosis, it's usually medication. Now, the biggest concern that parents have with medication is the children zone out. They lose their appetite. They become an empty shell of who they really are, and not to mention how people treat them with that label. Now, there's other ways that to treat ADHD. Therapy is another way, where it requires goal setting, rewards, and consequences. But let's look underneath that as well, because every kid needs those goals and reward system. But the underlying level is, why isn't the brain processing the information? So I'm going to call it something different. It's a miscommunication problem, meaning the input into the brain isn't what it should be. It's getting scrambled or altered. Here's something that I'm going to share that you were never told, or the truth that was never told to you, is that the brain grows from the bottom up and the back forward. And during those early years, when the brain is processing and developing, if any of those issues are hindered in such a way where they're not able to move in a such a way, there's stressors during pregnancy or during birth process where there's birth trauma, or they stays in the NICU, colic, chronic illnesses, toxins in the food, well, that's going to hinder how the brain is going to develop. And with those become a way of how the brain communicates to the brain, or how the body processes information, because the brain is scrambled. And so as a chiropractor, I'm going to look at how the brain is performing. My first job as a pediatric chiropractor, measure how it's performing with scans and an exam, but then we're going to say either we're going to calm it down, or we're going to reactivate it, we're going to re-scramble it, and then we're going to reinforce those good habits. Because what I don't think should happen, and hear me clearly, what I don't want to happen is, I don't think this energy that the child is having should be suppressed. I think they need to learn how to use that energy to focus, to process things, to make them a superstar that they really are. Hey, I hope that this resonates with you, the children that are struggling. Maybe you don't want last year's school year to be like this year's school year where it was chore last year. Let's make it a rewarding year for you and your child, so they can prosper, they can get the hang of this, because I know that kids are designed to thrive. And it may be just a miscommunication problem that's the underlying issue, not a lack of chemistry or a struggle with trying to rewards and consequences. Let's get to the bottom underlying root of the problem. Hey, I am Dr. Randy Wirtz in Thrive Chiropractic. Have a blessed day and a better school year. Take care.